And good morning, everybody. Welcome to 12 Ounce Sports and our fourth edition of the NFL Betting Preview Show. We are live on our platform and networks, which includes Zingo TV, channel 761. You can see us on YouTube, our Twitch channel, Twitter Live, Facebook Live. Welcome, everybody. Can you believe it? Week number 4 already of the NFL season, as we are getting knee-deep in this football season, along with the AM Drive crew. That's Mike Carvallis and Aaron Crouch, yours truly, Captain Lou from the Captain Lou Extravaganza. We are live on my show Tuesday nights from 8 until 10 p.m. And the AM Drive crew, they are live 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, and all points in between, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Great show that they put on every week. Fellas, good morning and welcome to week number 4. How are you guys?
Holy cow, already a month into football? That's fantastic.
Man, it sure is. And we started out, Mike, Thursday night with a game, Jacksonville and Cincinnati. You know, when you first look at it, you think, oh, my gosh, another snoozer on a Thursday night. But these night games, Thursday and Sundays, they've been pretty entertaining. And Cincinnati, they're 3-1 now. Looked okay. Joe Burrow is rounding into shape and kind of showing us that he's got some weapons.
Yeah, Joe Burrow has a lot of guys that are good route runners and who also find a way to get rack. And I also love, me and Aaron talked about it yesterday, that Zach Taylor seems to have Joe Burrow in command of this offense, and they're throwing simple patterns. So no matter how bad the line is playing, they're just dinking and dunking down the field, and it's working. Take the occasional shot. I like what I saw. I thought the Jaguars could have won another game. They just kept on shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and stupid stuff. But good game, like you said.
And Aaron, you know what's funny is I listened to Urban Meyer after the game. He's disappointed, but to Mike's point, I kind of like where they're going. You know, I've never been a big Urban Meyer fan. Maybe it's because of where he's coached, but I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be, you know, a very good quarterback in the league, and he showed flashes last night. They just got to learn how to win, and it again shows you that how difficult, Aaron, it really is to win at the NFL level.
And not only that, it's not really the winning aspect of it. They just got to remember that there's 4 quarters in a game. And it seems like the 2 weeks in a row here, they've had pretty good teams on the ropes, and they let their foot off the gas. And I don't know. I don't know if that's a coaching issue. I don't know if that's just a fact that they've got young players who are just not paying attention to the game. But I will say this, though. You have a 3-1 Cincinnati Bengals squad who's first in the AFC North right now, and they're still 100-1. To win the Super Bowl, 50-1 to get to it. So maybe there's some sprinkle action this week, depending on how the rest of the AFC North shapes up after week 4.
Maybe you have to put the price of a McChicken sandwich or something on that bet to go to the Super Bowl. We'll have to wait and see.
Just maybe.
We're going to dive into week number 4, and before we do that, I want to remind everybody that our odds and our over-unders and whatnot are courtesy of BetUS. And what you need to do is go to 12ouncesportsradio.com/BetUS. And when you do, you're going to see their website and you're going to use the promo code 12ounce. Yes, I'm telling you to do that because that is our lock of the decade. Because if you do that on your first deposit, you get 125% bonus match. So for every $100 you put in, they're going to give you 125 and 125. And to me, that's a no-brainer. So you get free money and then some to bet on these games. So we got a great slate of games coming up. Why don't we dive right into it, fellas? We got our first game. It's going to be down in Hotlanta, down in Mike's backyard. The Washington football team is taking on the Atlanta Falcons. This one's almost a pick-em. Washington, it's funny, is when I did my homework Thursday night, Atlanta was a 1-point favorite. Now they're a 1-point dog, and the over/under is 47.5. 77% of the betting public is going with the Washington football team on this one. But this is one I'm going to say right out of the chute, fellas. I really don't know how to pick this game. Washington's defense for me is not. I think they've been playing a little below par, so I'm going to take the over on this one. I'm going to go over 47.5. Not going to pick a winner in this one because I really don't know. Mike, maybe you can clue me in on who you think is going to win this game, or what is your best bet on this Washington-Atlanta game?
This game is interesting, and like you said, scary to pick a winner because it is basically a pick 'em here. So I tend to go with the totals here. I actually have to go with the under 47.5. I mean, I know the Falcons defense has been putrid. I know that the football team has been overrated to this point on defense, but I feel like both teams are lethargic on offense as well. So I'm going with the under 47.5 as my best bet here, but I think Falcons do win the game.
So, Aaron, we've got Matty Ice, who can still sling it against that, defense that I think Mike and I both agree hasn't really performed up to par. But, both these teams are playing. I know it's early for playoff lives, but this is kind of a must game for both teams. And, I don't know. What is your feel on this game?
So I'm looking at the situation. I think if we're looking at a tale of 2 weeks, Atlanta gets the win. They come back against the Giants. Everything is all chaos in New York. And we saw Washington head up to Western New York and get trumped by the Buffalo Bills. So if we're looking at that from a situation where we hate everything about Washington, we look at, Atlanta. They hung tough with Tampa, for 3.5 quarters, and they just beat the Giants. Everything, all systems point to the Falcons. However, I don't trust a team that has a wide receiver at running back. I understand Cordero Patterson's been playing well. He led the team in receiving last week. I will say this again, and Mike will disagree with me again. Matt Ryan is not a good quarterback. Not a good quarterback. He's going to be in the Hall of Very Good because he played for 15 years, but he is not a good quarterback. So all that being said, I expect the defense for Washington to finally wake up. They're a month in. Spring training's over, guys. Let's go. And I think we're going to get a Washington football team cover. I know that's not a huge, bold prediction. It's only one, but I think Washington wins this matchup.
Looks good on paper, Aaron. All right. So you're the first one to go with the football team. And Washington in their last 5 games is 0-5 against the spread. Atlanta 3-2. So there we go.
Made to be broken.
Well,
records are made to be broken.
Streaks are made to be broken, just like records are made to be broken. Indeed. Next up, let's go over to Western New York. Buffalo is taking on Houston. Tale of two different teams. Houston, maybe not as bad as their record indicates, but Buffalo, I think, is starting to hit their stride a little bit. This one is a 17-point spread. And again, these spreads are so scary to pick. I know a lot of people don't like to touch the spreads on this one. Mike, the over-under on this one is on our screen is 47 points. I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I'm going to say Houston's going to cover. When it's double digits and it gets to be 17 points, that's just inviting for a cover. So I'm going to go with the Texans to cover. And I don't care if it's Davis Mills or Mills Lane, I think they can still stay within 17. So I'm going to go with the Houston Texans covering the 17 points.
I almost went with the Houston Texans with plus 17, but I didn't do that, by the way. Then I thought about Davis Mills, and I don't care for the guy, but apparently for what the stat is worth, for all the rookie quarterbacks who have attempted more than 2 passes, which I guess that means everybody at this point, then he has the highest passer rating. And he's played like 1 game. So I get that, but I also get that the Bills could still run it up on him. I think Texans will score points, and I think even if Bills score 35, my fair bet here is over 47. I'm scared of the 17 either way.
Aaron, Buffalo is 8-2 in their last 10 against the spread. That kind of scared me a little bit with Houston. 71% of the public is going with Buffalo on this one. Oh. And, I'm trying to cut into your lead, by the way. I was 8-7 last week. You were 10-5. So you've got a commanding lead on me right now, 5 games. Mike missed week 2. So we're going to say he's right about with me. So you've got a commanding lead. So that's why I kind of went out on a limb a little bit Or is that limb something that you're going to step with me on? Tell me what you feel.
So I didn't want to interrupt you when you said that, but that is not a limb. That is a whole branch. That's not a very bold prediction. Oh, I'm going to take 17 points in the NFL. Of course. Why wouldn't you? You know my philosophy. Biggest spread of the week. I almost have to take the dog in this spot. Yeah. The actual advantage that Houston has is David Culley was the quarterback's coach when Josh Allen was drafted.
Ooh.
So he's huge in the development of Josh Allen. Now, did the rookie year go as well as he wanted to? No, but he's a rookie. So he's doing the same thing here with Davis Mills. Short and sweet, to the point, get the ball out of your hands. You got playmakers all over the field. I know they may not be the playmakers that we have, with Tampa and Dallas and all these other teams, but you're still an NFL franchise. And so I will jump out on that tree trunk with you, Lou, and I will take Houston plus 17 as well. I don't think, I just don't think Houston is as bad as we want them to be, and I don't think that Buffalo is as good as we're ready to crown them at right now. So 17 points, that's a lot of points, 3 possessions. I do like the over in this one too, Mike.
Oh, well, thank you.
Fellas, and that's the thing, Aaron. You hit the nail on the head with that point spread. Even if Buffalo's up, let's say 35-14 or whatever, backdoor cover will happen in that last 2 minutes just to get it maybe to 14 points, and that's kind of what I'm banking on. Even if Buffalo is that juggernaut that some people think they are, and I'm with you guys. I'm not quite ready to crown Buffalo as the kings of the AFC just yet. Well, let's switch over to the NFC, back to the NFC. Let's go to the Windy City, where things are a little bit murky in Chicago right now, as the 1-2 Bears take on the 0-3 Detroit Lions. Over under on this one, 41.5. Detroit's a 3-point dog. Both teams 2-3 in their last 5 against the spread. The Lions last week got their guts punched again, and something else punched with that 6-yard field goal that should have never happened because of the missed call on the delay of game, but we won't get into that right now. The Lions, what I liked about the Lions last week was they made adjustments at halftime. That's something Matt Patricia a lot of times never did. Now, moral victories don't count in the standings. I get that. But they took Buffalo right to the end, and they've played every team tough. Detroit's led in every game. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they led early in the San Francisco game, but, then they went behind by 30 points. But, they were ahead against the Packers. Obviously they took the lead against Baltimore. Chicago, I think it's going to be Justin Fields probably getting the start. Mike, I am going to go with the over on this game. I don't bet on the Lions just because I let my heart get in the way. I'm taking the over. It's a 3-point spread. What is your feel on this game between these two old Norris division rivals?
Actually, I'm going to do you a favor here, Lou, because I've actually, ever since I saw this, I don't care if it was a 20-point spread or a 1-point spread, I'm going with the Lions +3 because I think they're going to win the game, period. I think they have played well. And if you look at the press conferences from Matt Nagy this week, it's all on me why Justin Fields sucked last week. We're going to get it together. I don't believe you, Matt Nagy, because you couldn't help my boy Trubisky out. So why can you help this guy out? You can't do it. I'm going with the Lions +3, and I think they're going to win pretty easily. I don't feel the Bears, they're dysfunctional. I don't like them. I think
feel
Lions
that confident, Mike?
Huh?
You feel that confident, Mike? Detroit
Yes.
Lions? Take the money line.
Might as well.
Wow, look at that. Aaron, the Chicago Bear team, the crazy thing is if they were to win this one, they'd be 2-2. And,
Wow.
They're incredibly average. And that's how they've been at best under Matt Nagy. He gets on these streaks where he's good. Then he looks kind of lost out there. I don't know. I had someone from the Believe in Monsters podcast on my show, Chris Krogman on my show last Tuesday. And, he says they're not going to fire Nagy until the end of the year. Chicago doesn't do that. But I got a feeling if Detroit comes out and wins this one, that seat's going to be burning. What is your take and what is your gut on this Detroit-Chicago game? What is your favorite bet?
Well, let me go ahead and tell you a little joke, I guess, before I crush your soul with my pick.
Oh,
So it was announced earlier this week that the halftime show, this is the earliest I've ever seen the halftime show performances announced. Usually it's not announced till the playoffs, but
Right.
Lou, they said Eminem is going to be a part of the halftime show this week, or this. Yeah, they said that. And where's Eminem from?
He's from 8 Mile in downtown Detroit City.
So yeah, I obviously we've all seen 8 Mile, but I wanted to let you know, Lou, it's going to be okay because someone from Detroit is going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
Not the Lions, but someone from Detroit will be in the Super Bowl this year. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah.
He hates that. All right, so you said it. You actually nailed on the head my talking point that Chicago, if they can win this game, they're going to be 2-2, and they're going to be right in the thick of it because based on how I think Week 4 is going to go, they're still going to be in a really good playoff race here. That being said, if it's Andy Dalton, I feel more confident than Justin Fields, but I still feel confident with either quarterback against this Lions defense because they definitely they can rush the passer. Now, can you guard the pass rush with Andy Dalton? You need to. So this is all based on that because I don't think your back seven are any good. However, I just couldn't pull the trigger on Chicago regardless of who the quarterback was. So I'm going to take the over 41.5.
All right. We both agree on that. And, as I told my wife this week when I found out who the halftime show was, I really don't care. I couldn't tell the last time I watched a halftime show. I really couldn't. I'm usually I play cards at halftime, or like last year, I think I went to bed at halftime. So, because I had to get up early the next day to go to work. So you can joke around all you want. It's all right. One of these days, the Lions will shock the world. Won't be this year, but one of these days they will.
Are we going to live long enough for that, Lou?
I don't know. You guys might.
I don't know if I will either.
Well, let's head down. Speaking of teams that start with the letter D, let's go down to Big D with a battle of Carolina and Dallas. A battle of teams in the last 5 games are undefeated against the spread. Obviously, this year they're undefeated against the spread. Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite in this one. Carolina, they're undefeated this year. They look decent, but now they don't have Christian McCaffrey. But I got to tell you, I'm not surprised. He's battled the injury bug a little bit the last couple of years. The guy goes 5,000 miles an hour, as I mentioned last week. And, he's going to be out for a few games. We're going to see how good Chuba Howard is. The over-under on this one is 51.5. I got to tell you, I am not a Cowboys fan. But that being said, I think that they are going – I think they're really starting to hit their stride. I know it's early. I really like how Dak Prescott is playing. And I'm taking Dallas, laying the points. I'm taking the Dallas given 4.5. Mike, tell me what you think. Do you think it's going to be Cowboys, or do you think Carolina's got a chance?
It may be because I'm a Sam Darnold guy, but I also am a Dak Prescott guy, so it's okay. But it's not all about the players. It's about the teams and the way they're playing. And boy, wouldn't the public and the media love this one if the Cowboys, after beating the Philadelphia Eagles by 20 points, then they could cover 4.5 against the Panthers, who to me are a much better team. I'm going the opposite of you. I'm going Panthers plus 4.5. I'm not drinking the Cowboys Kool-Aid, and I love the way, like you said, Dak Prescott's playing really well. He played well last year. Their defense is playing better. I don't think it's the Panthers' defense. I think Sam Darnold is really helping Matt Rule's offense. I got Panthers.
Aaron, one of the reasons that I like what I like about Dallas is, they got ripped in the opening game when they lost to Tampa because they threw the ball 58 times. Well, they were smart to do that because Tampa's probably one of the best running defenses in the country, of course, in the NFL. I just like what they're doing. Their defense is starting to get a little bit better. Now, again, I know that they played Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is, they're a mess right now. But that being said, I just don't know if Carolina can get in a shootout with Dallas. But What is your thought on this one?
Well, first of all, that was an atrocious take, and that was an atrocious agreement that Philadelphia is a mess. They are a couple of bad beats away from being 2-1 here. Yeah, they got thumped by the Dallas Cowboys, the team Carolina is playing this week. And what are we making of the Carolina Panthers? Again, I love Sam Darnold. I think he's on a redemption tour, but we've got a barely win against the Jets, a win where you were in the game with Houston, and then the Saints. We don't know what the Saints are quite yet because they are Jekyll and Hyde from week to week. Those are your 3 wins? Don't give me that crap. Dallas minus 4.5 here.
Well, all right. Let's get the salvos are being thrown here early in this program. By the way, we are here live on 12 Ounce Sports. It's the NFL preview show, our betting preview show on this Saturday morning, October the 2nd, 2021, along with AM Drive's Mike Carvallis and Aaron Crouch. You can see them weekdays from 10 until 11 Eastern Time, 7 to 8 Pacific, all points in between. And yours truly, Captain Lou, every Tuesday night from 8 until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on the 12 Ounce Network, brought to you by BetUS. You get over to their website. It's easy, 12ouncesportsradio.com/BetUS is the best way to do it. When you get there, make your deposit, use the promo code 12ounce, and you will get a 125% bonus match, our lock of the decade right there, because it's a no-brainer. Every $100 you put in, they'll give you $125. That's up to $1,000. So that's free money, and you got to do it. There's just no getting around it. Let's go down to Miami. This is going to be an interesting one here now. Indianapolis and the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins ruined my lock of the week last week by hanging close to the Las Vegas Raiders. They actually, I thought, played pretty well, better than I expected them to play. Indianapolis, well, I don't know what to make of them. Mike, that's your team. 65% of the betting public is going with Indianapolis on this one. Miami up to a 2-point favorite. The over-under 42.5 on this one. Brian Flores, he's been anointed as one of the top coaches in the league. Okay, I don't know if I buy that. But this one, I'm going to take Miami, though. That being said, and I'm going to lay the 2 because I think it's a pick'em game, and I think it could be a field goal game, but that's enough. I think Miami's going to win, and so I'm going to go with Miami laying the 2 points.
I'll tell you what to make of my Indianapolis Colts. We have been hit with injuries. Last week we played the Titans. I love how Aaron rolls his eyes that we haven't been hit with injuries when we clearly have. So Carson Wentz played with 2 sprained ankles. They call them 2 sprains, which is not very funny. But I'm going with, in this game, my best bet is over 42.5. I haven't been impressed with the Colts defense. I also Jacoby Brissett, too. I don't care which one you get here. The fact is, I don't care if it's a game where Jacoby gets his revenge, is this one's going over 42.5. That's a low total for this game. And I think Colts are going to win, but I'm going with over 42.5 as my best bet.
Mike, the only thing that I will agree with you on that take was that it might go over 42.5.
Might.
Every team's got injuries, big fella, not just the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, but only everybody else has lost their offensive guard, their quarterback. You're right. I agree with that.
Well, the Lions have lost a lot of their offensive line already, too, but we won't get into that. Okay, Aaron, we've got an Indianapolis Colts team. 65% of the betting public, like I said, is going with Indianapolis on this one. I just don't see it. They're 1-5 in their last 6 against the spread. I'm all over Miami. This could be my lock of the week. I'm going to have to flip a coin on this with something else. But what is your feel on this game down in South Florida?
Well, let's look at the strengths of the Colts here. You have Jonathan Taylor, who's their biggest playmaker, against a Miami rush defense that's actually above average this year. Then you have Michael Pittman Jr., I guess, is your best wide receiver playmaker. And he's going to have maybe one of the best cornerbacks in the league shadowing him in Xavier Howard. And also, Mike, to lose a quarterback, you actually have to have a quarterback. Carson Wentz is hot garbage.
Right. Last year he was, sure.
He's been hot garbage all but 1 year, but I don't want to get into this. We can talk about it on the show. Yeah, I don't care what Jacoby said in the pressers. This is a revenge game for him. Not because he left Indy, because he got replaced by Phillip Rivers. He got replaced by Phillip Rivers.
Wow.
King of the garbage time yards right there. So, yeah, give me Jacoby. Give me the Dolphins here. I'll take the 2 or 2.5, whatever it is, and I'll lay it because I think Miami wins this game by 10 points.
That's funny. Until to your point about Phillip Rivers, I got to tell you, before this year, it was Matt Stafford that was the king of the garbage time points and the garbage time yards. Now all of a sudden he's a superstar. But we'll digress. Very interesting take, and I really like that take on Brissett as far as a revenge game. So,
by the way, last thing I'll say about this: the Colts are the 5th worst team in the NFL at pressuring the quarterback. So Jacoby's going to have all day to eat,
which he always does.
Well, you're going to be throwing that hat across the room on Sunday.
Let's go up to Minneapolis for our next game, fellas. This one's an intriguing game. Cleveland and Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota looked very impressive last week, I believe, unless maybe Seattle's not what everybody thought they were. Minnesota is a 2-point dog at home in this one. This one's a tough one for me to go with. I really don't know. Minnesota is or check that, Cleveland, in the eyes of the public, 56% of the betting public's going with Cleveland on this one. The over-under is 51. Kirk B. Cousins looked good last week, but this is not. This one was a hard one for me to pick. Originally, I said Cleveland all the way, even though they're only a 2-point favorite. I had to flip a coin between this and the over, so I am going to go with the road team on this one. I'm going with the Brownies, laying the 2 points. Mike, you're giggling back there about Kirk Cousins. Tell me your feel on this game.
As much as I don't really, it's hard to have an opinion on Kirk Cousins because he doesn't really do much or say much besides just put up numbers, which I get. I actually like the way the Vikings are playing. I think Kirk Cousins has had a silently good year. They've got weapons. Aaron, is Alexander Madison playing again this week for the running back position, or is Dalvin Cook back?
Dalvin Cook is probable, but they'll probably run both of them.
I like Minnesota with the +2 here. I don't know what to think of the over-under because I can't think if we're going to have a defensive battle or if both offenses are going to show up. It's different for me on that one, so I'm going with +2 for Minnesota. I've liked the Vikings all week, actually. Something about Kirk Cousins is winning me over. They're playing well. They're under the radar playing well. But so are the Browns. But I'll go with Minnesota +2.
Aaron, the over-under is 51 on this game. And again, a tough one for me to call. What's your vibe coming into this game in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, no thanks on that total for me. It's not anything I'm trying to handicap there. This was actually, I guess, not as tough for me. I mean, the Vikings seem like a very weirdly flawed team. Kirk Cousins in matchups against teams with a winning record only covers the spread about 39% of the time. And most of that's obviously Aaron Rodgers. But, like I said last week on the show, Lou, Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, to me, there's not that much of a difference. And it showed last week. The only game I'm actually really impressed with the Vikings, despite the fact that I did pick them to beat Seattle, was the Arizona game. I mean, that's the only competent defense they've played, and they got 33 points. So I am impressed with that narrow loss. I know there's no such thing as a moral victory. All that being said, if we expect Cleveland to be a Super Bowl contender, these are the games you have to win.
100%. So
give me Cleveland -2.
All right. We got to keep things rolling here as we're just about to the bottom of the hour. We're going to go down to the Bayou. New Orleans hosting the New York Giants. New Orleans, as Aaron mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we don't know what to make of them. New York, I know what to make of them. They're hot garbage, the key word. Nice. New Orleans is a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 42. 73% of the betting public is with New Orleans. 5 out of 6 they've covered in the spread. Let's make it 6 out of 7. I'm laying the 7 points. Give me New Orleans. Mike, you're up.
I'd like to express my condolences to Daniel Jones and what I'm about to do here. I love the Giants. I guess there's a special place in my heart whenever they beat the Patriots twice. Maybe that's why I've always kind of liked them. But I don't see Giants scoring more than 10 points this weekend. I don't care if the Saints put up 56 or 14 points. They're going to beat them. Unfortunately, I think they're going to beat them pretty bad. I think -7 is almost my lock of the week here. I haven't even wavered in this game. I haven't really thought about, well, what if Jameis has a bad game? It doesn't matter. Joe Judge has showed it doesn't matter who has a bad game against you. You're still going to lose the game. I'm going with the Saints -7. It's too easy, and I'm scared.
Aaron, I almost took a flyer on the over-under, saying the over on this one, but because I think it could be a track meet in New Orleans. This is their first home game, too, by the way. They've played their original ones on the road over in Jacksonville, or the original one, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Over under 42. What do you think of the game in general?
I do think this game will be a little more high scoring, at least on one side, in my opinion. 42 is a weird number. I think New Orleans can definitely put points on the board. The question is, can the Giants? I mean, they have shown in games that they can do this. So with regards to the over-under, I would probably lean on the over because it is the first game back. If you guys remember that Katrina game when they came back to the Superdome against the Falcons and just, absolutely it was electric. They were on fire. I think we're going to get an atmosphere like that as well. You guys are much lower. I understand the Giants are hot garbage, but this game started at 8.5 at the beginning of the week. Yeah. And from what the numbers I have, 70% of the actions on New Orleans, and the line went down. What are we doing here? I think we're going to get a track meet. So that being said, I don't know what to do with these plays. I'm going back to that well that worked for me last week. I'm going to take Saints team total over 24 points. We get 31-27 in this game.
Very good. Good pick. I think that might be a smart one. Well, speaking of New York, let's go to the other team with hot garbage. And, that's the New York Jets. They're taking on Tennessee. Was Tennessee's win last week over Indianapolis fool's gold? I don't know. They didn't look good at the beginning, but Tennessee's Tennessee. They're always there. They're always difficult to beat. 74% of the betting public is with Tennessee on this one. The Jets are the line is down to 6. It was 6.5 the other night, and it was up. One of my reports had it at 7. Yeah. 44.5 is the over/under on this one. Mike, the Jets are about ready to crack, but you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I'm going to take the under 44.5 because I think with Tennessee's defense not being that great, they're going to stand up to this Jets team that's still trying to find their way. Give me the under. I'm going to go out, try to cut into Aaron's lead.
The under 44.5 was almost my play as well. I love the spreads more than I love totals, and I don't know why, because I'm actually better at totals, I found out. The Tennessee Titans, I don't put much stuff into what they did against the Colts. I don't put much leverage into it because it's a division game, and I never know what to think about those games. We usually go back and forth each year with those games. I don't like Zach Wilson. I like Zach Wilson. I just don't like them letting him fly around and throw wherever he wants to, whenever he wants to. I think Titans getting sick, giving the 6 here. I got Titans -6. I think that's disrespectful to them. I feel like a lot of people went off their bandwagon when they lost to the Cardinals the way they did. That was week 1. I think Titans win this one by more than 6 points. I think win by more than 12, but we'll leave that alone.
Aaron, both teams really middling against the spread on this one. Again, I'm going out on that limb just because I want to cut into your lead. What is your take on this game?
I actually really want Mike to do a research study here for me. Hey, Mike, can you name me one Titans wide receiver that's playing in the game this week?
He told me that.
Can you name one? I'll wait.
I don't know.
How about Corey Davis for the Jets?
Yeah, Corey Davis going to come back and play. Is going to go on the other sideline. Dude, no A.J. Brown, no Julio Jones. Their leading receiver or their number 1 is going to be a man by the name of Chester Rogers. No way. No thank you. Not only that, The Jets defense stopping the run is 12th in the league. They're in the top half of the league. Now, it's Jets defense in the run versus Derrick Henry in this game. Advantage, Jets +6.
All right.
Fair.
Sounds good. I thought you were going to say Chess Rockwell from the movie Boogie Nights, and I was going to laugh.
Might as well be.
Let's go up to the city of brotherly love. And this one, 99% of the betting public is going with Kansas City on this one.
Again?
99.
99%. That's what I had on mine the other night, and I looked at it again this morning. Philadelphia is a 7.5-point dog in this one. You might as well make it 13 points. I'm taking Kansas City all day long to rebound after that loss to the Chargers on the road. Give me the Chiefs, plain and simple.
I know Aaron's probably not going to touch this game. He's probably going to touch some little team total or over-under somehow or whatever. I'm going to be bold like you, Lou. I'm going -7.5. And I'm actually terrified now if you tell me 99% with the Chiefs. But all week long, I've been saying Chiefs are going to turn it on and show Aaron why you can trust them to turn it on against any given team. And if they don't, I guess he has a point. But until then, we're going to say Kansas City flips the light switch this week, blows them out by 35 points, and then everything will be fine in KC again.
I love how Mike just said he's so good at totals, better than spreads, and then he goes, Aaron's probably going to take some stupid bet like the total.
Like the team total. I didn't even know we could do that.
Absolutely. You can take the team
Well,
total.
what's the point of putting this stuff down here if it don't exist?
I don't have to bet what you give me, buddy. So anyways, I was going to be on the total. You are absolutely correct. But now, you know what? Screw you guys.
Oh, come on.
Give me Philly +7.5. Screw it. By the way, my official play is under 54.5.
All right.
So
fair enough.
I'll bet with real money, Mike, that Kansas City or Philadelphia covers and wins this game.
And wins?
The 1-3 Chiefs, baby. Read it in your headlines. The 1-3 Chiefs.
Wow, that's bold, man. That's a bold bet right there. All right, we're heading into the 4:00 games now. We're going to go to LA, CA, as it's going to be the Rams hosting Arizona. This was a 50-50 betting public situation on this one. The LA Rams are now up to a 4.5-point favorite. It was 4 last time I looked at it. 54.5 is the over-under on this one. I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the Matt Stafford wave on this one, fellas. I'll give Arizona the 4.5. I'll take the Rams all day long.
I was with you all week long on this spread. I still agree with that. But I will have to say, for the sake of best bet, I'll go over 54.5. I think the Cardinals defense is playing well. You know, screw that. I'm going Rams -4.5. I can't even do that to myself. Watch one of these defenses show up. Listen, I like Kyler Murray. I think they have nice weapons. I saw what the Rams did to the Buccaneers with a statue in the pocket. But I've got the Rams -4.5, and I think 50-50 with the public, man. This public, man, they amuse me sometimes. I'm going with Rams.
Aaron, you were there last week to watch him play Tampa. You got firsthand look at Matt Stafford. Now they've got Arizona coming into town. The first of 2 big games, by the way, because they go to Seattle on Thursday night to take on the Seahawks. So that's they got a big stretch. But that being said, both teams are 4-1 their last 5 against the spread. What does your gut say on this one?
Yeah, all I have to say is, from the sounds of our picks, boys, y'all better have a good week, or I'm going to take a commanding lead in this contest. It was 50-50. I saw the action. Basically, the only thing I'm looking at, and the fact of the matter is, Cardinals are not good at stopping the run.
Fair.
But you're going to tell me that Darrell Henderson and Sonny Michel are going to gash him? I don't know. If Darrell Henderson plays and he's 100%, then I would probably lean toward the Rams. But Darrell Henderson is not 100%, and Sonny Michel got traded for a reason. So, that being said, Stafford's going to Stafford at some point. This might be it right here. Give me Arizona +4.5 for no other reason than it's 50-50, so I'll take points.
Okay.
Wow.
And now the fact that I know that you're all on the Rams, that makes me feel even better.
Well, he is being he's sinister this week.
Let's go up the coast as we roll along on these 4:00 games. San Francisco is hosting Seattle. And their last game, against the Packers, that was a great game to watch.
Yep.
Not a Packers fan, as you all know. Aaron Rodgers is coming into form against what I think was a very good San Francisco defense. Seattle, I don't know if there's trouble brewing, but they're staring at a potential 1-5 start or 1-4. They've got to go to San Francisco. Then they got LA coming to town with short rest. 65% of the betting public, that being said, is on Seattle in this game. San Francisco, to me, I look for them to rebound. I'm going to lay the 2.5 points. Over-under is 52. Give me the 49ers laying the 2.5.
Lou, my comment on this game is this game always is one of the best games of the year, both times they play. I don't know what it is with Russell Wilson against the 49ers. I don't care how good either team is. They're always just down to the wire, whether it be Fred Warner stuff on a deal on the goal line or Russell Wilson just leading a late comeback. That being said, my best bet is under 52, although I agree the 49ers will rebound. I'm just scared that Russell Wilson finds a way to do it again against this team that he doesn't like, apparently. I'm going with under 52 here.
Well, I got to disagree with Mike on this one, Aaron, because I don't think Seattle's defense is playing that well. I think, if anything, that could go over. But I think their defense is kind of in disarray, and they gave up a ton of yards and points to Minnesota. Now, granted, it's on the road, but they're on the road again. What is your feel? What is your take on this game?
I actually don't hate that under 52. Team total and defensive scoring this game, if you take both the teams, 24.6 for San Francisco and 26.2 for Seattle in terms of points per game. That stays under the total. If they even play, these two teams play up to their average, you're going to stay under. So that being said, I think, like you guys, I'll give you the credit. Kirk Cousins is playing a lot better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and Seattle gave up a lot of points. Ryan Tannehill playing better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Seattle gave up a lot of points. I think you might finally see your controversy here, Mike. I think Seattle goes in there and wins. So I'm actually, since I don't want to change my bet because I do like that under, and Mike made a compelling case. I'm going to stick with the Seattle plus 2.5, and I also think they're going to win this game.
Wow!
All right, it's gonna be a nail biter. Sounds good. Let's head a little bit east. Let's go to the Mile High City next. This is an intriguing matchup for me. Baltimore comes in to an undefeated Denver team, and I know Denver has feasted on lightweights, to say the least. The two New York teams in Jacksonville. Last I saw, now it's to -1. Baltimore favored. Yesterday when I looked at it, it was a pick'em game.
Wow.
87% of the betting public on this one is with Baltimore. You know what? Baltimore, they're playing a defense that's a hell of a lot better than the one they played last week. I know Detroit made some adjustments, but Detroit's not Denver's defense. I'm not sold on Baltimore after that performance against Detroit. And, if Detroit wouldn't have went in that 3-man prevent, Wayne Fontes prevent defense in the last drive there with under a minute to go, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Baltimore wouldn't be the favorite. Denver, I was told at the beginning of the year they were going to be a sleeper team. I was given some advice from somebody on my preview shows that I did. I'm riding the Broncos. I'm riding Teddy Ballgame. This is an upset. Give me the underdog. I'm taking Denver +1.
Well, I think Denver is going to win the game. The best part about this game is it's Denver and it's 4:25 in the afternoon for us here on the East Coast. Every time I throw in a big game for the Broncos, it's always at home in Denver at 4:25, and that usually smells under 45. I'm like, 45? That's pretty. I thought it was going like 42 or 43. I'll go under 45. I think this can be a very close game, as the spread does indicate. I think under 45 is the play here at 425 in Denver. I'm going to get a Justin Tucker field goal late. I don't care what we get, bro. It's under 45.
Aaron, I don't know if you think I'm crazy doing that, but I like Denver in this game. I don't know. I just their defense is just going to take control of this game. But what do you think?
Well, it's an interesting conundrum. You are right. The Broncos are 3-0. Their combined opponents are 0-9, and yes, they've looked very well in that. The Ravens are 2-1, and it's been the most cardiac 2-1 you ever did see. Now, do I go against Teddy Covers, who's basically a machine in terms of that? I don't know. But let me give you some stats here. No Bradley Chubb, no Josie Jewell, no Jonas Griffith. So that defense has taken 3 hits during the week. You have no Jerry Jeudy. You have no KJ Hamler. You have a beat-up Cortland Sutton, who's still trying to recover from an ACL injury. So now your number 1 receiver is Tim Patrick. I think the Broncos get exposed this week. I think I know it took everything in a 66-yard field goal that maybe shouldn't have been to beat the Lions. And clearly the public doesn't care. So I'm actually going to be, as Huey Lewis says, hip to be square this week. Give me the Ravens.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All 3 of us are different on this one. That's kind of how we like to do it. So
he brought up some good arguments.
Welcome again to the 12-Ounce Sports NFL Betting Show live here on 12-Ounce Sports. We're live on all of our platforms. Zingo TV channel 761. Also Twitter Live, Facebook, Twitch, our YouTube channel. And again, we're sponsored by BetUS. Go to 12ouncesportsradio.com/BetUS. Check out their website and use the promo code 12ounce. Captain Lou says use the promo code 12ounce.
You will do this.
125% deposit bonus up to $1,000. It's that simple. It's our lock of the decade right there. So you put in $100, you get 125 extra matched to that deposit up to $1,000.
And Lou, make sure to tell them that we sent them and send a screenshot of them doing that. And that means all 3 of us will get tickets, man. Make Beck spend his money for us.
There you go. That's right. So that's BetUS. Very safe betting site as well. So I invite you to check it out.
Hey, Mike, if we do win the tickets, do you think we should go see Ohio State beat Michigan again?
I would do that just for Lou.
It isn't going to happen this year. I guarantee that.
Oh.
Same old song and dance for the last, 12 years? How long has it been?
Hey, it's funny how people have selective memories, how that used to happen to Ohio State back about 15, 20 years ago. Michigan beat them 10 out of 11.
To be fair, my Seminoles might not win a game this year. So
there you go, Jacksonville State. All right. Let's go to Lambeau. Green Bay and Pittsburgh. You look at this one on paper, guys, and Green Bay's firing after that first game. They're firing on their cylinders right now. I know Aaron Jones might not play tomorrow. He's a little iffy, but so is Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I don't know. It's just they did not look good at home against Cincinnati last week. They made Cincinnati look real, real good. That being said, 53% of the betting public's taking Pittsburgh in this one. The line is at 7. The over-under is at 45.5. Green Bay 5-1 in the last 6 against the spread. God, this pains me to do this. Maybe if I do this, I'll give them the Captain Lou kiss of death. Give me the Packers laying the 7. They're going to go to 3-1.
Aaron, I know you got research. How many Steelers defenders are out this week? Because I'm making sure they're how badly they were hurt. I don't know if you have.
I don't see anything. T.J. Watt is probable, which we know what probable means in the NFL. I think we're okay.
That being said, Aaron Rodgers is good against good defenses, but I haven't seen him against this Pittsburgh defense. I think we get a ugly under 45.5. I don't blame Big Ben. I'm like Aaron. I don't really blame Big Ben for their struggles. Their offensive line has been terrible, but I think under 45.5 is a good play here for me. Safe bet here.
Well, okay, that Ben Roethlisberger may be the scapegoat. It may not all be on him. Their offense does not look good. And Green Bay's defense, I think, they're going to make them look a little bit better. Aaron, give me your analysis on this one. Tell me what you think is the best way to go in this game in Green Bay.
Well, my analysis is T.J. Watt, a probably healthy T.J. Watt is going against the backup left tackle this week, so that's not good for Aaron Rodgers. Again, I don't think Pittsburgh's 1-2 record is really what it should be. I don't think the onus is really on Ben Roethlisberger to a point here. And don't forget, yes, they did get beat last week by Cincinnati. And I'm never a guy who says wide receivers matter. But Deontay Johnson, 15 catches in the first 2 weeks, just not playing in week 3 was huge. Absolutely huge. I understand there's Juju. I understand there's Chase Claypool. But Deontay Johnson is their best receiver, head and shoulders by far. And Mike, we said this on the show. There is no reason Ben Roethlisberger should be throwing a ball over 6 yards in the air.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin's smart enough to do that and get his offensive coordinators to do it. I'm taking Pittsburgh +7 here.
Oh, all different
All of
again.
us are different on this one as well. That'll be an interesting game to keep an eye on at 4:25 tomorrow afternoon, Eastern time. Packers and the Steelers. I'm sorry, fellas. Pittsburgh, to me, I think they're starting to crumble. I did not think they looked good at all, but that's me.
Lou, let me take you back down memory lane when your lock of the week was the Packers -2.5.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that's my lock of the
Well,
week.
if you remember that against the Saints.
I remember. Again, if nothing else, it's a kiss of death for Green Bay because we all know how I feel about them.
Fair.
Speaking of people that Mike just has an absolute love affair with, let's go to the Brady Bowl. Sunday night game, 8:20 or 8:15, whatever you want to call it, Eastern time. Tampa Bay, 7-point favorite going up to New England. Excerpts of the Sam Wickersham book came out and, making, Belichick look even more of a curmudgeon and whatnot. Tampa Bay coming off a loss in Los Angeles against an LA team that, they had the momentum and everything on their side. New England coming off a stinker of a game against New Orleans the week before. Anybody who says there's no emotion in this game, they're full of, 89% of the betting public is on Tampa Bay in this one. Over-under is 49.5. I don't like the spread in this one because I think it could be a close game. I'm going with the over, 49.5.
I know where Aaron's going with this one, and I almost went against him. But all week long, I kind of have been Patriots +7. And all week long, I thought to myself, something about this game just screams scary for both sides. I think this game's going to be really good. I think the Patriots don't have the personnel to beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers just are going from LA back to the Northeast to play the Patriots on a Sunday night in a big game. I got Patriots +7 here.
Wow. Well, that doesn't surprise me because, you're going against your boy Tom. But, Aaron, Tampa Bay, New England, it's going to be the pageantry, I think, might be better than the game, in my opinion. What's your take on this one?
Yeah, we've actually got some crucial injuries in this game for both parties. Obviously, we know James White is out for the year. That's kind of a big blow for Mac Jones there in that spot. Questionable right now. You have Trent Brown, Isaiah Wynn on the fence here with the Patriots. Two of the bigger offensive linemen here. You have Kyle Van Noy, who might not play. J.C. Jackson, who's arguably their best healthy defender in the secondary, who's also questionable in this one. On the Bucs side, you've got Gio Bernard and Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean was probably the best corner in an atrocious secondary that's, for Tampa. So what is that really saying here? Rob Gronkowski's probably not going to play in this, which is unfortunate because it's his homecoming too. All that being said, I officially, for betting purposes, will not touch this game. There is only one bet I am making, and it's just what I like to call a happiness hedge because I'd like to see Tom Brady win this game. And I'd like to also see it close. That's fine, So my head leans New England +7, and for purposes of this contest, that's what I'm going to go with. But the actual only official play I am going to put on this one is the New England Patriots on the money line.
Yes!
Well, if I do anything on this game, it's going to be a teaser bet myself because I just the spread.
Which way do you go? Which way do you go?
I go Tampa plus or Tampa -1. I think they're going to win. So
put me down for New England +7, but I'm going to go ahead and get that ticket in tonight.
Ooh.
Fellas, we got about 5 minutes left. Let's head to Monday night. Go back to the City of Angels, Los Angeles. They get 2 games this weekend, a Monday night game. Vegas coming into town. Overtime win. 2 games at home for Vegas, 2 overtime wins, but they're on the road, going down the road to take on the Chargers. The Chargers, big win at Kansas City last week. They looked strong. Kansas City made a few mistakes, not taking anything away from Justin Herbert and the Chargers. 5-1 in the last 6 against the spread. 78% of the betting public taking Vegas in this one.
Wow.
51.5 the over-under on this one. That's where I'm leaning. I'm going with the over, 51.5.
I am as well. For the sake of time, I won't expand on that except to say this could have some random fluke late score to push it to over 51.5 in an AFC West battle. Although I think Raiders are going to win, but over 51.5 is my play.
Aaron, I love the Vegas, the way they're playing at 3-0. I don't care what you say. They win. They're winning close games. This one could be another nail biter. What's your pick? What's your feel?
I'm surprised you guys feel that way, with especially Mike, with Jacoby Brissett being hot garbage and took Derek Carr and the Raiders to the brink of an L. Again, I don't know what to make of this Raiders team. The Chargers team is getting healthy now. Keenan Allen coming back. I know he hurt himself in the game. They're getting Derwin James back after missing last week. So I think the defenses in this game are going to steal the show. And I'm taking the under, boys. Sorry.
Oh, of course you are.
Like I said, y'all better have a good week because I might take a commanding lead in this.
All right. We've got about 2.5 minutes left. Time for our locks of the week. I'm going to go back to an over-under bet for my lock of the week. And my over-under lock of the week bet is going to be Tampa Bay and New England. I'm going with the over 49.5. That's my lock of the week.
Fair. My lock of the week, as in throw this key away this week, is Colts Dolphins under 42.5.
Okay. Aaron, it's up to you for your lock of the week.
You know, it's funny. We feels like a lifetime ago we talked about this game because I think we started the program with Washington and Atlanta. My lock of the week is Taylor Heineke and the football team with a big victory down in hot Atlanta, like you said, and Washington football team -1. My lock of the week.
All right, There you go, fellas. This has been an absolute blast as always. On a Saturday morning, this game will be rebroadcast, or this program will be rebroadcast again Sunday at 11 a.m. So Eastern time, 8 Pacific. So we hope you enjoyed it. Hey, everybody, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight, or this morning, rather. I tell you, I'm all rattled, eh?
You are killing it.
Yeah, We hope you all enjoyed the show today. It's been a lot of fun, as always, with the AM Drive crew, Mike Carvallis and Aaron Crouch. Yours truly, Captain Lou, saying keep your heads up. Keep your sticks down. Keep your feet moving. And as always, keep your minds open. Good day, everybody. Enjoy the football this weekend. And we'll stick around and we'll join you next week, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, for another edition of the 12 Ounce Sports NFL Betting Show. Good night, everybody. Good day, everybody.